Thanks for joining us. A Bibb County inmate who once faced a life sentence for killing a Bibb County deputy will now serve just under a decade behind bars.
Albert Booz was sentenced to 25 years with 13 to serve in prison for the deadly stabbing of Deputy Christopher Knight in 2021. Booz pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and battery and will receive credit for the 4 years he's already served. In court today, prosecutors revealed new details about the moments that led up to Deputy Knight's death inside the Bibb County Jail.
Maggie Fitzgerald is in studio tonight after speaking with Christopher Knight's mother to break down new details she's sharing tonight.
Frank and Lori, Cheryl Knight remembers her son not just as a dedicated law enforcement officer, but also as her best friend. She says her son was well respected by both inmates and his peers during his 3 years with the sheriff's office, and she still recalls that night in 2021 as the worst day of her life.
Him and everybody who was involved made a choice, and that choice killed my son.
A choice that changed Cheryl Knight's life forever. On April 6, 2021, her best friend, her son, Bibb County Deputy Christopher Knight, fatally stabbed in the neck by then 22-year-old inmate Albert Booz. Now 4 years later, Booz pleaded guilty on Monday to a lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter for what would typically be a life sentence due to, quote, institutional failures prosecutors say led to Knight's death.
Chris was very concerned about the conditions of that jail. And he told me stuff like that, like, Mom, to say you can look up and they'll be outside the cell.
She was there as Assistant District Attorney Tony Mays revealed on April 6th, Booz was taken to an area away from security cameras called the Lieutenant's Office after threatening suicide. That's where deputies took inmates for physical punishment. Then a fight broke out between Booz and several deputies, including Knight.
He was taught to be respectful and obey your superiors, and that's what he was doing. I wish he had the discernment to know what they're telling me is right or what they're telling me is wrong, and I can't do that.
Prosecutors say Knight hit Booz multiple times. Then Booz gained access to Knight's taser and his unauthorized knife, which he then used to kill the deputy. Behind the badge, Christopher shared his concerns with his mother about unsafe conditions and concerning practices that contributed to his death. Cheryl warned him not to take part in it.
He had a good heart, and he just made a bad decision. He was the best thing that happened to me. He was the best son, and he was the best thing that happened to me. So I'll never forget him.
And the DA's office says Booz had a legal right to defend himself, but they say his response went beyond what the law allows for self-defense behind bars. Back to you.
Thank you, Maggie. Some witnesses claim Deputy Knight was one of the aggressors, but conflicting testimony made a murder conviction difficult for prosecutors.
After Christopher Knight's death, Albert Booz was moved to Monroe County, where he later pleaded guilty to assaulting officers in a separate case.